Good morning. Hi. Lori and Josh had asked if I would be interested in sharing a little of my testimony and about the reason that I serve the Lord. And I thought about it, and I prayed about it, and I thought about it, and I thought, what am I going to say? There's so many reasons. But I think the greatest reason I serve Him is because nobody's ever going to love me like He loves me. Jesus lived in heaven, Yeshua. He lived in heaven. He was in the glory of His Father all the time. Everything was perfect there. Everything's beautiful there. But He loved me. He loved the world. God loved the world, and He sent Jesus, and Jesus was willing. And that's something I think that's very overlooked, is the fact that Jesus was willing to come here, to this earth, come to His creation. He would reject Him, beat Him, pull out His beard, spit on Him, peel His skin off of Him, basically, because of the beating that He took, be nailed to a cross because of love. No one else is going to love me like that. No one else is going to love you like that. And I thought, why do people hate Jesus? You think about what He did for mankind, what He did for us, and you think, how can you not serve Him? How can you not serve someone who would love you so much? He not only came and took away my sins, but I was abused for the first 28 years of my life. I went from an abusive childhood to an abusive marriage, to an abusive marriage, and literally was physically abused for the first 28 years of my life. I'm a mess. God is still healing me, and I'm 53 years old. I was an alcoholic by the time I was 15 years old, and a drug addict. And I didn't know how to live. I didn't know how to live with drugs or live without them. I just didn't know how to. I didn't know how to function as a human being because of the beatings as a child. I had no self-worth because of the abuse that I suffered at the hands of one who I loved and loved me. She loved me. I'm going to just, tell you, my mom loved me. But she did not know how to raise a child. I was her first, and she did the best that she could. But her disciplinary actions were way off. And because of that, I had very low self-esteem. And I was very, very shy as a child. I was painfully shy. And that opened the door for the spirit of fear to come into my life. And because of the spirit of fear, I started drinking at a very early age. And I started getting high when I was in the 7th grade. And that made me not afraid of people. And so that became my addiction. And I just jumped out of the frying pan into the fire. I married an abusive man, and addiction got worse. I lost my child because I chose drugs. I'm honest about it. I loved being able to function more than I loved my child. I thought I loved him, but I didn't love him enough to stop. And only God could do that. And there was no condemnation. I lived in a lot of condemnation and guilt for many, many years. But the fact of the matter is, I couldn't heal myself. I needed something and someone to do something I couldn't do for myself. And I went into rehab in October 4th of 1983. And I was sick. I was tired. And I asked the Lord to help me. I mean, it was just that easy. It wasn't big, long, drawn-out prayer. I just said, Lord, I don't want to live. I'm afraid to die. Help me. Help me. And He did. And He instantaneously delivered me from drugs and alcohol. He doesn't do that all the time. And I can't explain why he does it or why he doesn't do it. I only know that he can and he will, and that he will help you get through your life. I go through, life isn't easy as a Christian. It is work. He says, search for me and you will find me when you search for me with all your heart. Searching for him takes an action. But it's always worth it. God is worth it. Jesus is worth it. The Lord has blessed me in ways that I can't even begin to tell you about. I could share some, but there's things that I've probably forgotten, and I'm ashamed to say that that's true, because everything that he does is good, and everything he does is worth remembering. He's healed me time and again from physical maladies. He has restored my family. He has given me a job and a future when I had no future. Before I got saved, before I came to know the Savior, I had no future. He gave me life, and he truly gave me life more abundantly. The reason that I serve him, he deserves it. He deserves it. He deserves everything that I should just follow him around on my knees because of what he's done for me. I couldn't make it without him. I wouldn't want to. And that is the reason that I serve the Lord, because he's worth it, because he loved me first. And because of that, I wouldn't have life any other way.